Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Elizabeth Morris, and I'm the Corporate Events Manager here at Cavallo. I'd like to be the first person to welcome you to our Cavallo Custom Fields webinar. The team and I couldn't be more excited to share our newest product for Business Central with you. The format for today's webinar is going to be a 20-minute presentation that includes a live demonstration, followed by some time for Q&A. Feel free to ask questions at any point throughout the presentation using the Q&A icon at the bottom of your screen, and we will do our best to get to all of those at the very end. Lastly, this is a reminder that today's webinar is being recorded, and you'll be able to view it shortly after the end of the webinar on demand. Jeff Houtz and Jeff Lambert are our presenters today. They will demonstrate our newest innovation, Cavallo Custom Fields. You'll witness just how fast and easy to use Custom Fields is, which in turn will empower you to increase order detail and accuracy, accelerate order processing, and make better, more informed decisions. So before I spoil too much, I'm going to turn it over to our presenters, Jeff and Jeff, to introduce yourselves.
All right, thanks, Elizabeth. Appreciate that introduction. My name is Jeff Houtz. I'm a senior account executive here at Cavallo. Been here for 6 years officially now, and have been, really focused on driving profitability for companies running GP and Business Central, utilizing our Cavallo and SalesPad solutions.
Yep, Jeff, and I'm the other Jeff. It is great to meet you. And I have been with Cavallo for a few months, but I've been in the product space for over 12 years, working on a variety of different products. And the custom fields application is very, very exciting. And I'm very happy to present this new functionality to you. So I'll hand it back over to you, Jeff.
All right, thanks. Appreciate that. So in a minute, we are going to demonstrate the ease, flexibility, and power of our custom field solution. But first, let's talk about why. For those of you familiar with our SalesPad solutions for Microsoft GP and what we were able to do with user-defined fields, we were able to achieve a parallel solution for BC with custom fields, bringing forward data fields that are imperative to managing your operations and are not available out of the box with BC. This could include additional context about customers, sales, or products to maximize operational efficiency. Like I mentioned before, we are more than familiar with the Dynamics community as we've been in the space for 20 plus years now. We have 2 decades worth of experience recognizing and optimizing thousands of business models, including leveraging user-defined, or in this case, custom fields. I also want to highlight our ability to support our end users with our 96% retention rate and our Net Promoter Score of 96, the likelihood of others, of our customers to recommend us to others. Here, let's take a look at where custom fields fits with our other solutions in the customer to cash process. Because custom fields can apply to customers, products, line items, and documents, and because it can be leveraged with our order management workflow, it truly spans the customer to cash process, along with our order management dashboard and order management workflow products that will be highlighted today during our demo. Order management workflow is a highly configurable and user-friendly workflow builder that streamlines your process with automation and gives end users 100% control by allowing them to add conditions and business rule logic to their workflow so that they can process every order moving through their business exactly the way that they want to every single time. So being able to take custom fields that are tailored specifically to a business and their industry and apply those to a workflow can really gain additional control over those orders moving through a business process. So I'll try to call out as we move from one solution of ours to the other where we are, what that product essentially achieves as we move through this demonstration. So order management dashboard, that would give 100% visibility of all the orders that are moving through that workflow that's configured. I'll hop into that, open an order within our order entry product, show that order, show where the custom field applies to a line item, and then show how the condition that I have set up with a workflow either hinders an order moving through the workflow, or can essentially move it through the workflow. So really powerful tool here that we have custom fields, and really fits nicely with our other solutions. Again, just striving to drive profitability for our end users. And I'll go ahead and pass it over to Jeff for the next couple slides here.
Awesome, thank you. So as Jeff was mentioning, the custom fields functionality within the Cavallo solution is definitely built out where you can fully customize what's happening within your workflow, within your dashboards. What are you tracking? What's the information you need to capture on each individual document, and really make the Business Central integration as well as the Cavallo integration yours, and customize it to your unique business needs. With all of this, some of the key functionalities, custom fields, it's super easy to use. It's one of the most user-friendly applications that I've ever worked with. It is very simple, straightforward. Anybody could go in there and quickly pick up how to add custom fields. I've done a little bit of research into other solutions that are out there that are a little bit more labor intensive, whereas our solution is quick to pick up. And the other part that is amazing is it automatically integrates back into Business Central. So you can create a custom field within Cavallo, and those fields will automatically pop up into Business Central. So whether you're using all of our solutions or just a couple of our solutions, you can still utilize the custom fields wherever you're doing your work. Also, with all of that, you can build multiple custom fields and truly create that dynamic workflow routing on what you key in on within your business practices. Jeff, you want to jump to the next slide? So within here, there's a lot of business value that is driven from having custom fields available. Like I'd already mentioned, being able to take true control of your workflow and build in what it is that you are keying in on, highlighting fields that you're interested in, and being able to build out either automatic actions or business rules to track documents and make sure that they're hitting the right cues. You can really leverage custom fields to create that custom environment within the Cavallo workflow environment. And with that, I'll hand it back over to Jeff for our live demo.
All right, great. Thanks, Jeff. So let's take a look here at how that works. All right, so Jeff, if you could give me a thumbs up and let me know that you can see the custom fields screen here.
Yep, it's there.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. So again, with custom fields, you have the ability to create new custom fields, publish custom fields you've created, and integrate existing fields from Business Central. So just to give you a lay of the land here, up here at the top in the upper right, I have the ability to integrate existing fields from Business Central. I have the ability to create new custom fields, and we'll jump into both of those here in just a moment. And then here at the bottom, I can see all the custom fields that I currently have published. So I do want to call out a couple of these custom fields that we've created. These were created specifically for some of our end users and specific asks that they had. So one here, the USDA heat zone, that was for an ag company of ours. They wanted to see the USDA hardiness zones, and they wanted to create a list, and they wanted that to apply to customers, products, and line items. Product color, that was one that we set up for a building materials company that we work with. So they wanted to see some specific colors by product and on line items, and that is a list as well. And then today I'm going to highlight this deposit taken custom field. So one of our customers and a Microsoft partner that we were working with, they wanted to see or have more control over the ability to select true or false. Was a deposit taken for an order? If it's true, it could go ahead and move forward within a workflow to a point where those items can be fulfilled. Not true, then it would just remain in a stage that is needs deposit. So I'll highlight that within our workflow today. I'll show what that looks like, how you set that up essentially. Go over to our order management dashboard, open an order, show you where that is on the line item, and then I'll get over into Business Central to show you that in fact, that was created in Business Central as well, simultaneously. So it's available there, and checking or unchecking the box also happens instantaneously with our integration also. So here at the top, as I mentioned before, you can integrate existing fields. So if I go ahead and check that, I get the window here to integrate existing custom fields from Business Central. And I can do an open search for these fields and then apply them to Cavallo. Again, this is great. Jeff hit on this earlier, but this really allows those that have already invested in either custom fields in Business Central or with other applications to then utilize those fields that they have in BC and bring them into Cavallo. So here, if I did want to search for, tax type, I could do that and go through multi-select all the tax type fields that I have in BC, go ahead and move them over to Cavallo. And then once I select integrate to Cavallo, those then become available for me to use and leverage if I want to with workflow here in Cavallo too for additional power. I'm going to go ahead and hop out of the integrate existing fields, show you how to create a new custom field. As Jeff also mentioned earlier, this is highly intuitive, very easy to use. Here, if I wanted to, I'll use the colors example. If I did want to create a new custom field, I go ahead and give that a label. I can select here from the data type that I want. Throughout, I'm going to highlight our checkbox true or false. But just to show you how easy this is, I could set up a list for a custom field that has multiple colors here and go ahead and enter the colors that I want. And then I can select which entities that I want that to, apply to. Maybe it's just line items and products as an example. And then I can give this, a description. Maybe it's special colors, what have you. I go ahead and save this custom field. As soon as it's saved, then I have the option to publish. Do I want to publish it right away? Do I want to keep it open, maybe to edit it a little bit before I publish that custom field? Have some options there. So really easy to move through setting up a new custom field here. Again, giving it a label, selecting the specific data type that we want here, and then here selecting which entities I want it to apply to. Getting back over into custom fields here, again, really straightforward, easy to use solution. Now I'm going to go ahead and transition and show you how you can take these custom fields that you've entered here and that you've published, apply them to our workflow, and show some of the control that you're able to get with doing that. So now I'm going to go ahead and transition to our order management workflow. And I'm going to go ahead and select my order workflow. So again, order management workflow gives one 100% control over the orders as they move through their business, allowing them to really define where they want automation set up in place or what business rules they want set up in order to make sure that they're processing every single order through their workflow exactly the way that they want to every single time. So as I mentioned earlier, we're going to go ahead and look at that has a deposit been taken checkbox as our custom field and show where that fits into this workflow. So I have a pretty basic workflow here that moves from new order to an invoice queue. Really straightforward. These are really easy to set up as well. This workflow took me about 5 minutes. There is actually a lot of automation here, which I can show as well. But as I get into the setup of this, right now I have this set up to go from new order to needs deposit. Once that reaches needs deposit, this is where I then have my custom field coming into play. So my primary path for my orders is to remain in this queue unless any of the line items that has the deposit taken field checked as true, then it can move to ready to pick. So that's that additional level of control that one of our end users and partners wanted to see, that we set this up for. And then once it moves to ready to pick, this is where I have quite a bit of automation set up. So as my orders move from new order then needs deposit, and then ready to pick, I'm actually allocating the inventory for all these items, creating my pick document for what's available, sending an email report with that pick instruction, and then I'm authorizing credit card payment here and for the balance, and then I'm reopening that document as well. So a lot of abilities here that I have set up here in my workflow. So I'll go ahead and transition over to my dashboard now to open this order and show you then show you where this custom fields lives on that order. I'll go ahead and check the box, uncheck the box, and I'll open this up in Business Central to show you what that looks like as well. So I'm going to go ahead and move from my order management workflow here to my order management dashboard. This is where end users can get 100% visibility of the orders moving through that workflow that I just demonstrated there. Here I have my needs deposit queue. Here on this needs deposit, I do have a couple orders that are sitting here waiting for that checkbox, essentially that approval that the deposit has been taken to move to my ready to pick queue. So I'm going to go ahead and select this order. And this is going to populate our order entry screen. So really easy to use order entry for customers utilizing Business Central today that maybe do a lot of manual order entry, a lot of high value manual order entry that want to streamline their processes. This is a really sleek tool that they can use and save time when they're manually entering those orders. Here I have my deposit taken custom field, as you can see, and because it's not checked, these orders would remain in this queue. They cannot move forward to my ready to pick queue until that's been checked. I'll go ahead and show you that here in just a moment. Before I do want to show you how that works. I do want to hop over into Business Central here. So I've opened this order in Business Central simultaneously. You can see here's my order. Here's the deposit taken checkbox. So it is still sitting there. It is in my needs deposit queue, as you can see. By applying Cavallo to Business Central, you get these additional workflow queues, and you get the additional statuses here as well. So jumping back over into Cavallo, here I now have the ability to check this box. Once I check this box, you'll see here that the stage of this queue, I can now move it to submit to ready to pick. If I go ahead and now open the order in Business Central, you'll see that that checkbox is now checked as well. So because of our direct integration to Business Central, how seamless that is, here's that deposit taken checkbox, the custom field set up in Cavallo instantaneously integrates to Business Central. As I make those updates in Cavallo, it's updating in BC in real time. So no syncing, updating, anything like that's needed. It's a direct integration. Really nice there. Now I can go ahead and submit this order ready to pick. So really want to highlight our ability to create those custom fields or integrate existing custom fields and apply them here within Cavallo, apply them to a workflow, gain that additional control and configurability with that solution. So really great tool, really easy to use, really easy to set up as well. So want to go ahead and now summarize for you. Cavallo custom fields, really powerful tool for quickly and easily creating unique data fields. Again, those are fields not available out of the box with Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central. This integrated solution significantly reduces time, effort, and cost. New data fields can be published in just minutes and stored in Business Central to ensure that the ERP remains a single source of truth for end users. Thanks again for your time. Really appreciate you all joining us. I'll pass it back over to Elizabeth at this point in time.
Yeah, thank you both for that. we are ready to take any and all of your questions at this point. I'm gonna give us a second here, let some questions come in. All righty. First one, mainly for clarification, I'm going to direct this to Jeff Lambert. So will new fields added in Cavallo be reflected automatically in BC? I think I know the answer, but will you verify that for us?
Yes, they will. So as soon as they get published, they will be ready and available in BC. And as you save things, as Jeff Houtz was mentioning in the demo, as you save things in Business Central, as well as in Cavallo, they'll be reflected back and forth between the two systems.
Okay, perfect. And then, Jeff, why don't we keep you going? Is there a maximum number of custom fields I can create, or what does that look like?
As of right now, we can add as many custom fields as you need. And yeah, so there is no limit. And yeah, just add as much as you need to customize.
Fantastic. All right. And looks like one last question, is this a standalone product? Jeff Houtz?
Yeah, I can take that one. So in order to utilize our custom fields to be able to create new custom fields, you would need our order management workflow, essentially to be able to do that. If you just want to be able to solely integrate those existing custom fields that you have in BC, as we demonstrated, you would just need our order management workflow to do that. So it would require order management workflow for custom fields to do what we showed today by adding new custom fields within Cavallo and having them integrate over to Business Central.
Perfect. Looks like that's going to conclude our Q&A today. We would be remiss if we did not talk about the fact that the Cavallo team is headed to Charlotte next week. We are headed there for Community Summit North America. We have quite the crew headed that way, and we'd like to personally invite any of you here on this webinar today to join us. If you also are heading to Charlotte, join us at Top Golf for a fun afternoon next Monday. We're going to have a brief presentation on best practices to streamline order management. And then, of course, we're going to play some golf and have a lot of fun. So please join us, scan that QR code, take a minute or so and register so we can plan on having you. And it should be a great time. We have actually over 65 people registered at this point. So it's going to be an awesome afternoon and a great kickoff to what is sure to be a very busy and productive week for all. If you're unable to make that event, but you're still in Charlotte, just pop by our booth. We'd love to see you. Grab a t-shirt. We are booth 1409. So had to put that plug in there. I'd like to thank both of you, Jeff and Jeff, for presenting today. But more importantly, thank you all for joining us and for spending a few minutes with us today. If you like what you saw or have any further questions, we're happy to answer those. You can reach out directly to Jeff, and he can facilitate a follow-up call. Lastly, when you exit the webinar, we're going to have a really, really short 3-question survey. If you wouldn't mind giving us a little feedback, we would greatly appreciate it. So that concludes today's webinar. Thanks again for joining, and we hope everyone has a great day. Bye-bye.